Wow, Sandy McManus, again. Apparently I hit the off button on my device. So sorry about that. We were talking about, and I was showing you these adorable acetate boxes. Comes open. And I want to show you how to make them. So, let me show you how you make these. Aren't these cute? And this little, the daisy punch, which is adorable. Dead air. So, what they are is these acetate card boxes. They fit cards beautifully. And there comes 10 to a package. I don't remember the price. I'm not going to quote it. And this is what they look like when they come. And then you just, fold them together. But for these, we're going to cut them in half. So to cut them in half, the finished size on the boxes is 4 7/16 inch by 5 3/16 inch. So I'm going to put these aside for a minute. So to cut them in half, it's actually pretty easy. With the flaps out, they're like exactly 8 inches long. So you line it up at the 4-inch mark and just cut. And they do cut with a regular cutter just fine. I'm not going to cut this one. But yeah, so that's how you cut them. You cut them with them flat at the 4-inch mark. And I have instructions already typed up and ready to go. So the next step, I also wanted to show you too, I emboss, these boxes do emboss, meaning you can take our textured impression embossing folders, our TEEFs, our embossing folders that are for the big shot. And I did a very detailed one. I don't know if you can see that on my hand. I don't recommend doing any kind of detailed one. It doesn't work. So then I took the large polka dot folder we have, and it does work quite well. So with the box cut in half, you could do it with the full box too, but the box cut in half, I have this one. So again, these are great. They actually fit in an old cassette. So if you have some old cassettes, the old audio cassettes that you want to give somebody, this is fantastic. Some other things fit in here too. So to emboss, take your half box, make sure your folder, the top of the folder, I don't mean this directional top, but the impression way will always have the Stampin' Up logo and the Sizzix logo on the top. I talked about this a few weeks ago. This folder actually runs, I think, kind of backwards. I see why they did it that way, but the crease is actually at the bottom of the image. Just a little backwards, but it works. Okay, and you want to use your Big Shot platform, not your magnetic platform. So your Big Shot platform that comes with your Big Shot. And I always recommend to make sure that the crease of your folder is the part that goes in. I actually ruined my favorite embossing folder years ago by running it with the open part first, because they can kind of curl up on themselves. So always make sure that the crease is either sideways or like this when you roll it through. Lesson learned on a couple folders years ago, early on. So we're just going to crank that through real quick. And I didn't test this one, so I really don't know how this one's going to look on there, because it is a little more detailed. Yeah, I think I need to change, possibly, I don't know. Actually, it's kind of cute. You see that? But it probably needs not 2 plates, but instead some different kind of sandwich because it does get pretty thick. But yeah, that's kind of cute. Okay, moving on. Moving on. So yeah, so we can emboss these too. Now, when you put your box together for this half box, even for the full box, you want to kind of pre-burnish your folds. I actually go out first on this in this way, just because they are stiff plastic. They are acetate. And then tuck it in. And I actually push it in like this. And then push it back out. And make sure you tuck your little flaps down. And I'll tell you why. Not that it matters a whole lot, but then you get a fairly square bottom and your box will stand upright. So that's just a little tip I figured out by making a bunch of stuff. And also when you put your box together, if you're going to emboss, pay attention to where this little flap is, your front and back of your box. Not that it matters a whole lot, but just in case you're really picky on that. So here's your instructions. So now we need to cut our, so I cut the box in half. I'm rolling through the instructions with you. So you want to cut your designer series paper or cardstock to 4 3/8 by 5. It's 4 3/8 wide, and the 5 is to allow for a flap. Your finished box at a half is going to be 4 3/8 by about 3. Okay? So, let me, I forgot to get my Simply Scored. This is the advantage to working in, doing videos in your office. You can just quickly grab stuff. Oh. I'm sorry about that. So, along the 5-inch side, so the long side, you want to take and, oh, and that's the other thing. This paper has a directional. So, this is something else I was playing with the other day. So, let's take a look at this. This paper does not have a directional. This paper really kind of doesn't, if you know what I mean. I mean, the vines might go a certain way. This one I custom cut to get my little sparkles on the flap. So with this one, if I were to score at the proper spot, when I fold this over, my little fleur-de-lis things are going to be kind of upside down. And that's something I don't want. So that's something to pay attention to with your directionals of your paper. So I'm going to have my paper, anyway, you score at 3 and 3.5. Take your bone folder, that I forgot to grab, and burnish your folds. But do you see what I mean? When you fold it over now, your fleur-de-lis are facing the right way. So you take a 4 by, I forgot the dimensions, 4 by 3/8 by 5 paper, and then you score at 3 and 3.5. And yes, my fleur-de-lis are going to be backwards or upside down in the back, but I want them so they face the right way on the front. Does that make sense? Makes sense. Good. Then I'm going to decorate said box. I'm going to take a piece of cardstock and make a belly band. So I cut, for this belly band, I cut it to 1 1/4. And let me get my Simply Scored out of the way. And on this foil paper, when I did this, I actually did use the scoring thing because I wanted to make sure that I didn't screw up the foil paper. But with normal cardstock or DSP, you can just do the method of, you know, make sure it's square, wrap as you go. And then glue that. Easy peasy. Easy breezy, beautiful. Stampin' Girl. I don't even need a lot of glue on that. Or you can use snail or whatever. And if you're really picky about your folds, then you can go and do that. So now we have our belly band. Belly band, and my box is backwards. And we'll call it right there. And I'm going to add some retiring. And I don't know the status of how many are left, but I'm going to add some of the 2017-2019 in color bitty bows. They're little felt bows. So I'm going to add one of these on here. I'm not stamping anything on this. You can, like I did here. And these are filled with little Hershey bars. And again, it's all in the instructions what sizes you need. Should we add this? Yes, let's add a stripe of this. No, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe? What do you think? Maybe it needs a little something? As my name implies, needs a ribbon. How about we do just a simple knot? And just a simple knot on this, nothing fancy. I'm going to trim that up. And this is ribbon that I believe is retiring, the Fresh Fig 5/8 inch, kind of a, almost feels like muslin. So I'm not sure, again, the status of that. Those are some of the things that when they're gone from the retirement list, they are gone forever. So if you like that stuff and you like the color, it came in all 5 colors. And let's just, no, that doesn't work. Well, I didn't plan that. And maybe we shouldn't have done the ribbon. Oh, how about this? Put the ribbon up there. This is what happens when you craft on the fly. They're not always perfect, but my other ones are cute. Anywho, there are other ways I could have wrapped this ribbon. I don't like that, but you get the idea. Simple to decorate. Just bringing all 5 of them now. So we have the daisy paper that's retiring, the daisy punch one. I just filled this with shreddy. That is shreddy that we have that, again, is on the retiring list. We have this one that's actually filled with 3x3. Let's open this one up. 3x3 little note cards. So those fit in there. And we included a divider, Beth, that showed us how to do this. Included a little divider and a chocolate. And then this was how I chose to close it, and I still haven't trimmed my ribbon. So, there. So this is one way. Here's another one. Again, just that. You can do a belly band with the really ugly box. And then we have another belly band. And these are stamped paper. So that's what we have. That's what I wanted to show you today, was the half acetate treat box is what I'm calling it, from Stampin' Up. Again, I learned about this from Beth Tetzloff, phenomenal stamper. She learned about it from another demo. I don't remember who. And you can, let's not forget that you can also, where is that? I covered it up. You can emboss the boxes too. So that's all I have for you today. Coming to you Wednesday. I will be back Monday, and I'm not sure what's on my docket to share with you. I will get this as soon as I can uploaded with the instructions, or I can just let it kind of sit there for a minute, and maybe you can take a screenshot or something of the sizes and all of that. But anyway, I thank you very much for stopping by. Sorry my live kind of broke apart in the middle. That's what happens when you move your camera. You actually shut the phone off. But that's all I got for you today. Happy Wednesday. Have a great weekend. Bye.